Hey, this is Nate Jackson once again here at Alex's Bar, coming to you with our special streaming series. Today we have Jim Ritson, owner of 4th Street Vine and the Bamboo Club, and we want to talk about his background, what's going on with the venues, the bars, the special place that they hold in Long Beach live music culture. And Jim, how are you doing?
Doing good,
Good as can be. Yeah.
good as we can be, yeah, despite being closed.
Exactly. I wanted to, just for people who don't know you, give me a little bit of a recap of like how you got into the bar business in Long Beach and sort of your path through live music as far as a venue owner.
So, two separate paths. I got into the bar business because my girlfriend and business partner, Sophia, wanted to open a bar, and I was living here in Long Beach. She wanted to open a wine bar, so I talked her into doing it here, and we opened it up and started operating it, and it just evolved. I've always been into underground music, mostly the underground punk rock scene, so it was natural to starting to do shows there, and eventually get an entertainment license and start putting shows on all the time. So it's really just a simple evolution. Sophia and I coming together, her wanting to have a wine bar, me wanting to have some music there.
And so what is it about Long Beach? We were talking about this where it has its own style and culture that makes it great. What is it about Long Beach that makes it a great music town?
Well, I mean, to me, I guess it's just two things. Like, it seems to have a long history, one that totally predates my time here, of music and art being an important part of the culture of the city. And then there's just something down to earth about Long Beach. It's sort of separate from most of the path of big industry focus in the music scene.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to Los Angeles to try to make it big in whatever scene they're a part of, whether it's music or movies or whatever, right? But in Long Beach, I don't feel like that's the aspiration, so the music scene feels different here.
Exactly.
Much better match for the people that are looking for honest music.
Definitely. And definitely considering everything that's going on right now with COVID shutdowns, clearly there's a lot tied up in that. But I know that you and a lot of the other bar owners in the area have come together to help each other through this. Can you talk a little about the Long Beach Bar Coalition and what that is and how you got involved in it?
We formed it because we all started just kind of getting to a point of financial hardship that was starting to feel like desperation. So we got together so we could have a unified voice, basically to lobby the city to let us reopen, or to ask them to help us financially to survive, because COVID has lasted so much longer than any of us anticipated.
Yeah.
And we've just been fully shut down at
Right.
the bars and venues, so it just got dire, and
Yeah.
we formed it out of need.
I mean, yeah, you can plan for a rainy day or a rainy few
Right.
days, not a rainy year.
No.
So in terms of the support that you guys have gotten from the community, I mean, I feel like I've seen a lot of posts on social media, people tagging you guys and talking about, the fact that, you need to be able to save venues like 4th Street and obviously Alex's. What's it been like for you to see the support come from the community that you serve?
It's actually been really kind of extremely touching to me.
Yeah.
I found myself being kind of lost in COVID a little bit, and trying to survive month to month. And I think about the staff all the time that we laid off and about how they're doing. But when we did our first big social media campaign, and I, at the end of the evening, and I was at home reading through everybody's posts, it was, a pretty emotional couple hours just reading people talk about what their experiences were at all of our places and how much they meant to all the different individuals that were posting. And I don't know, it was pretty amazing. And it's not that it's not that we're not aware or engaged with the community. You just, when you see sort of a swell of people trying to save something, it's pretty impactful.
It helps you push through, I'm sure, get through the days, because it's got to be. I mean, that was one thing I wanted to ask you too. Is like just the day to day of keeping a bar alive, not necessarily even if it's not open, but keeping it maintained. What are some of those things that people don't mostly see behind the scenes of being able to maintain something like a venue in these times?
I mean, the biggest part, honestly, is financial. A few minutes ago we talked about how bars are built to sustain thousands of people's feet per month, right?
Yeah.
So physically they're okay, but it's the financial part. There's a whole bunch of bills that are just on, cycling every month. So whether it's rent or the lease on your ice machine or your security camera, and security equipment lease, and some bars have cable television, and just all those monthly recurring costs. Those are the things that were just weighing on us every month. It seemed like as soon as we would kind of work through one month and figure out how to survive it, the next month's bills were due, and all the other stuff, to be honest, the break is, I'm sure all the bar owners felt the same as me. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna paint that wall finally that I've been neglecting for 16 months.
Right.
So
what keeps you the most sane during this time? Because I feel like it's definitely, there's a lot of worry, right? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and you have your own slice of it, but what is it that allows you to kind of see the upside even in a time that's really uncertain?
just the time with my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm just at an age in my life and have gone through enough struggles with trying to open up a place or change jobs or whatever things you go through as you get older in life. But to have a family at home that's healthy, that we're happy together and have extra time with them. And Sophie and I have a pretty amazing and unique kind of partnership in our relationship because we started a business together.
Right.
And to have someone like that I can bounce ideas off of, and that's kind of what gets you. That's what got me through. Is just I still get bummed out and struggle with everyone has bad days, but I don't know. At the end of the afternoon, you can pull out a board game and crack open a beer and sit with your family and have some fun.
Definitely. And considering this series happening at Alex's, I wanted to kind of get back talking about sort of when you first came to this bar, and what do you think really sets it apart and makes it special and part of the Long Beach culture?
Well, I came to Alex's bar right when it opened. I remember when it opened, before there was live music here. It was just still a bar. Alex, I assume he was still working on getting entertainment here. And then he started throwing shows, and he was pulling in every band that I loved, and it was just amazing. And to try to summarize what Alex's bar means to the local music scene in Long Beach is impossible. It means there is no summary. It's really the cornerstone, the nucleus of live music in Long Beach, as far as I'm concerned, or anybody who cares about local music. So, I mean, this is where touring bands are coming through, and local bands play, and bands that are, local, who've gotten notoriety for the last 30 years, and bands that are twice as big name-wise as should be playing here somehow turn up playing here, and if you're lucky, you find your way in the door. So this is definitely the hub of the music scene in Long Beach.
Yeah, and as far as being able to do anything like what we're doing right now with this series, being able to deliver music to the public, the fans, and obviously people who have grown up in this bar in a lot of ways and found so much through it. What does it mean to be able to see this carry on in some form while we're getting this all sorted out?
I mean, it's a lifeline, right? People still want to see live music. They'll take it in a streaming form if that's how they can get it. The bands still have a need to play. I would imagine that as the streaming platform runs its course until we're able to do live music again, that you're going to see bands debuting all kinds of new music that they've been writing during COVID, which is pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and if it helps, if it can help pay the rent for the bars, like that's the lifeline that the bars need. You know,
Yeah.
they need to be able to pay their rent.
Definitely.
That's the main thing. So clearly, it means a lot to everybody to have places that support live music.
Yeah.
And I think people are willing to support it. So
Right
hopefully,
on. Thanks for your time, Jim. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
Nate, thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Cool.